Okay, good evening. Good evening online. Hi Sham, good evening. Good evening. Yes, good to see you all here. My 5:30 and 7:30, both online and offline. Hi. Okay, so good evening. So hope everyone are doing good. So did you guys completed all your practicals? Terraform, pending, huh? Which one? Completed, huh? Okay. Yesterday's. Okay. My 7:30. Subhasho, all done? Does they know about Ireland? తిప్పి తిప్పి మీరు ఐర్లాండ్కి వస్తారు. ఓకే. So in Google Classroom, I have uploaded that zip file, questions and resumes. Did you guys download it? For everyone, it works now, Chandan. So you just need to click on it or just open it in some other window and you get the download option on the top. So directly it will not come. So you just need to open in another URL and then, yeah. See, everyone downloaded it. Check it, Chandan. Okay, so without any further delay, we have successfully completed this wonderful course, AWS and DevOps, my 5:30 and 7:30, and we are pending with a few projects. Yeah, correct. Yeah, Dinesh. So today, let's start with one AWS project, which is CICD. Which one is that? CICD, that to three-tier architecture project. Which one? Do you remember in AWS, we have already done three-tier architecture project? And the same project, little bit different, and we do with the CICD now. On in AWS project, if you remember, we have done only three-tier project, but we have not done the CICD. Continuous integration, continuous debug. So CICD, we know we will be doing using Jenkins. We have done using Jenkins, but this time we use the part 3 AWS with DevOps. So in AWS also we have something called CICD, which we call it as code pipeline. Say that. Say that. How we write, how we have Jenkins pipeline. Similarly, here we also have what? Code pipeline. And inside the code pipeline, we have something called code build. Say that. Code build is for what purpose? Build purpose. Code deploy is for deployment purpose. So we use these three combination. What combination? Code build, code deploy, and these two combination we use code pipeline. We'll talk about it. First, what I'll show you is, I'll show you the today's architecture, the project architecture. I'll give you a few minutes, go through it, try to understand the architecture, and based on that, you tell me how do we design it. You know already, you are already experts now. Any architecture, if I show you, should be able to easily understand. Ready? If it is not visible, take the screenshot and open your phones. Cannot zoom. Oh. Okay. Visible, offline? Photo is zoom this. జూమ్ చేయడం అలవాటు కదా, కనిపించిపోతాయి. This is the project that we'll be doing, 3-tier project. Try to analyze and we need to implement this. Hmm? No, correct. Come from left to right. This is production grade full stack app. This one project is enough for your resume. That much big project is this. It is good to discuss. Team discussion is good. We call it as grooming in real time. Not brooming, grooming. Very good. Subrat and Lucky, Dinesh, good. Akhilesh. We'll create everything is not there. So Akhilesh, when we go for VPC, it comes everything with package. I cannot put everything here. And that too, I didn't design this. I took the screenshot. Uh, Otherwise, I need to open the draw.io and I don't have that much time. So that's took. Did you got an idea? Yes, Rituraj. It has auto scaling also. I say it's not there here. We can set up auto scaling also. How many subnets, Dinesh? Okay. So let me ask the questions and then you answer it. How many total subnets are there? I forgot today to bring. How many subnets are there? Sir, అడ్డంగానా నిలుగుతున్నారు. How many subnets are there? I'm not asking how many types of subnets. I'm asking how many subnets are there. Huh? Punita, how many subnets? Subhasho, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You said 2, no? Okay, okay, okay. Yaradu. Okay, fine. So how many subnets are there? 8 total. So it's a Bhayanak project or not? Okay. So and how many public subnets are there here? 2 public subnets. And how many private subnets? 6 private subnets. And then you know very well how to set up a VPC. VPC, Internet Gateway, subnets, and then NAT gateway, routing tables. All the things we'll set up the infrastructure first. After that, in our AWS, we have done the 3-tier project. There I used SSM. Remember? Systems Manager, I connected to the application server directly. But this time I'm going with what? Bastion host. Remember in VPC, we learned about Bastion server, jump server, Bastion or jump server. Okay. So we'll set up a VPC inside that 2 public subnets and then 6 private subnets. And then in Bastion host, we know. And in private subnets, we have 2 tier, presentation tier, application tier. Say that. Presentation tier meaning web tier, web server, web tier. And this one is what? Application tier. In web tier, in presentation tier, what we have? Nginx. Nginx is a web server or not? Nginx will take the request and redirect. And then what we have here? Load balancer. How many load balancers are there? One is external load balancer. One is internal load balancer. Remember the 3-tier project. And then all the requests. And you have CloudFront also. First request will come to Route 53. And from Route 53 request will go to CloudFront. And from CloudFront request will go to load balancer. And load balancer to Nginx. That meaning presentation tier. And from Nginx to load balancer, internal. Internals will send the request to application tier. So what type of application we are using here? Node.js application. But do you worry about the application here? No. So Node.js, I put everything how to deploy the Node.js application in a user data. So put that user data, application will come up. So here, as a AWS engineer, DevOps engineer, concentrate on the infrastructure, not on the code. The next coming all projects, let's not concentrate on the code. Let's concentrate on the process, how to set up. Okay. And then in the backend, what we have here? RDS. In the backend, what we have here? RDS. And then what else? Can we have CloudWatch alarms also? Purpose. And scale out scaling. Can we set up auto scaling for our web tier? I mean, application presentation tier. Can we set up load auto scaling for application tier also? How to create a auto scaling? First, we need to create launch templates. After launch templates, we create what? Anyways, load balance is also there, and then target groups are also there, and then auto scaling group will create it. Will attach to the target groups. Remember AWS topics. And then we have the auto scaling on the presentation tier, auto scaling on the application tier. And anyways, here we'll set up a RDS. If required, can you set up a read replica also? I'll not be setting up read replica. It's very easy, right? And then we have ACM. ACM for what purpose? Certificate. What is that? HTTPS certificate. By the time we set up the load balance, fine. Additionally, what we can do, you can set up your own CloudFront, and then in CloudFront also how to set up a certificate I showed you already. And then we have the CloudWatch logs. So all the logs will be collected into the CloudWatch logs. You understand the project now? Now see for a minute, and then you will understand. And step by step, everything we need to architect it. See it now. Don't worry. This project, step by step notepad I have written for you with my hands. Now see it. Hmm? Hmm. If you have done our AWS 3-tier project, this will be easy. We'll do that project, and on top of it, we'll set up a CICD. I will not be showing the CICD now. Let's constantly set up this. On top of it, then we'll go and set up. So here 2 tiers are there. What are the 2 tiers? Presentation tier, application. So both are different or same? Both are different. So for that, we need to have a CICD for this. We need to have CICD also. This. Which one? This is the front end, and this one is back end. Why we need separate subnet for this, sir? Remember, Kalyani, you are forgetting our basics. So for high availability purpose, for security purpose, for each and everything. And how many security groups will create for this? Oh, that interview is done, Dinesh? How it went? Nice, huh? Very good. And this project also you could have explained. Same. Okay. We can set up this project, Rituraj, if you want DR. Same you need to replicate in another region. Same concept in another region. And remember in Route 53, we learned about failover routing policy. So you implement that failover routing policy. Should we start this? Okay, na? How many security groups? You simply skipping that. Huh? How many security groups? Okay, you tell me. We need to have one security group for Bastion host, jump server. And we need to have one security group for external load balancer. External load balancer. We need to have one security group for web tier, presentation tier. We have another one security group for internal load balancer, and one security group for application tier, and one security group for database. Total how many? 6. So this is a very damn big project. So that's the reason why we'll spend more time, and then we'll complete this. Okay. So okay. So is it better? Should I give this to before only, or together we'll do? Should we do it together? Or you want this copy in your phones now? You want the notepad copy to you now? Tell me. Not required. We'll do together. We'll do together. Okay. So now tell me, see these steps. So this is AWS CI/CD pipeline, deploying production grade full stack application, right? And see this, take this photo first of all. Take this photo. And then these are the steps that we'll be doing it. Try to understand this step and you tell me by seeing this step one by one, we'll be doing it. And meanwhile, I'll log into the AWS console. Take this photo and then see it in your phones meanwhile. Don't worry about this configuring. This is the CICD. This one, this part we'll do it later. So concentrate on 1 to 11, 12, 12. Okay, I'm ready. See here now. What is the first step? Create. You know how to create a VPC. We'll set up the VPC quickly. And then we'll create what? Security groups. Yes or no? Once we set up the VPC, like all those subnets, routings, etc., etc. And then what we create? Security groups. And security groups also, remember, we'll create a security groups. And then how to allow the inbound rules? Top to bottom, top to bottom. Remember? So if you have a load balancer, external load balancer, and then you have the web tier. So web tier should get the traffic only from external load balancer. Next, we'll get internal load balancer. Internal load balancer should get the traffic only from web. Remember? 730 people. 730 people we have with the 3-tier project, AWS. Same thing, right? Okay. Because 730 is my old previous students, right? So AWS project 3-tier we have done. Huh? Okay, fine. So those, it's not, those have, okay, if you feel that we have not, okay, fine, that's fine. So what I meant to say here is, see here, I'll show you here. In this, security groups, okay, how do we log, how do the traffic should go to the presentation layer from the load balancer only, right? So we'll enable, we'll allow the traffic only from the load balancer. And how do we allow the traffic to application server? From how to get the traffic from application server. Like this, we need to go and give the rules. Okay, so we'll create a security groups. Next, we'll create one S3 bucket for the code to store our application code. So in this application, we have front end, back end. Front end is our Nginx, back end is Node.js. And then we need to create a IAM role, right? And then create a RDS. We'll go with what? MySQL. And then what we need to set up? Create app servers and set up the application. And we need to create a internal load balancer for app servers. We come from bottom. Of course, we need to set up RDS also here. I didn't put that. Here we'll set up one first. We'll create first what? RDS. After that, we'll create a application servers. After that, we'll create a internal load balancer here. First, we create RDS. After that, we create application servers. After that, we create internal load balancer. After that, we create application presentation web servers. And then after that, we create external load balancer. Same thing. Web servers we'll create. We'll set up Nginx inside it. And then external load balancer we'll create. After that, we'll set up a auto scaling group for web servers, auto scaling group for app servers. And then we have a new service called parameter store. What is that? Parameter store is used for storing the secrets. What's that? We'll mention the secrets. We have secret manager, right? Similarly, in systems manager also we have parameter store where we can enable there and we'll fetch the secrets from there. I am just showing the project how we are doing in the real time. And we create a S3 bucket also for storing our artifacts if required. Artifacts for what purpose? CICD. And then we'll talk about this later. This is the second half. So let's concentrate on the first half. Let's go and create a VPC now. Okay. Okay. Yeah. So name is 3-tier project VPC. We'll go for it. CIDR is this. Tenancy is default. VPC action enable DNS host names will enable it. And then what we do, we create a internet gateway and attach to the VPC. First, we'll do this. Okay, let's go. Let's pray God that this project should be successful, because a big project is you should have patience, right? And then lot of patience, because this project will take a lot of months in real time to do it, but we'll be completing in a couple of hours. Okay, let's do create VPC. So what is the name of the VPC that we create? So here I don't go with the VPC. Okay, let's go with no, let's go manually, because you'll understand much better. VPC here, 3-tier project. What's the site of the VPC? 192.168.00/16. Okay, default is fine, and create a VPC. After creating VPC, what we need to create? Internet gateway. Let's create a internet gateway. Call it as 3-tier project IGW. You can give any name. Create a internet gateway, and what we need to do? Attach to the VPC. Guys, generally, whenever you create a VPC, whenever you launch EC2 instance inside the VPC, public DNS will not come. You see public DNS? Public IP will be there. Public DNS will be there. No, EC2 hyphen something, that will not be there. If you want that, what you need to do is simply edit VPC settings, enable DNS host names. Next, we need to create carefully. How many subnets we need to create totally? 8 subnets. So inside that, first 2 subnets are, let's go and create 2 public subnets. Okay, see here. Create 2 public subnets, 192.168.1.0, 192.168.2.0. Let's go and create 2 public subnets. Create subnet. Which VPC? This one. Call it as public subnet. Hold on. So it's better to give the names directly now. So I call it as here. Clearly, I have given here. See, public subnet 1A. I'll give public subnet 1B, and private subnet for web 1A, private subnet web 1B, private subnet app 1A, private subnet app 1B, private subnet DB 1A, private subnet DB 1B. Total, how many subnets here? Total 8. First 2 are public, rest are all private. Should we implement this block? Okay, now let's do. Guys, back me up. I'm also a human being. If I'm doing any mistake, let me know. 3-tier project. Okay. So I'm just putting it in 1A. What's the CIDR? 192.168.1.0/24. Okay. And then add new. And this, what is the name? Next, public subnet 1B. This I'll put it in 1B. What's the CIDR? 192.168.2.0/24. Good. Next, subnet 3. Private subnet web 1A. Put it in 1A. CIDR 192.168.3.0/24. Next, private subnet 1B. This one B. 192.168.4.0/24. 24. Next subnet. Private subnet app 1A. 1A. Side up. 192, 168. 168. 5.0/24. Next subnet 6. 1B. 1B. Next 192, 168. 6.0/24. Next. Guys, I want the concentration. If you miss little bit also. 1A. 1A. 192, 168. 10.0/24. And subnet 8. 1B. 192, 168. 8.0/. Okay. 8 subnets got created. Super. So what's the next thing? Create NAT. So let's go and create a NAT. So go to NAT. Create NAT. NAT where? In which subnet we want to have a NAT? Public subnet. So here we created how many subnets? 2 public subnets. Either you can go for 1A or you can go for 1B. So I'm just going for public subnet 1A. With the logics you need to learn. Okay. So here we need to go for public. Do you have any elastic IP? No. Allocate one elastic IP and then create. What's the next step? Routing tables. What's here? Routing. So we need to create public routing table or private routing table. So I'm just giving the name called public routing table. Let's go routing tables. Okay, which VPC 3-tier project. Create. We need to create one more routing table and I call it as private routing table. Not. So let's go and select which one? Public routing table. Routes. Subnet. Now all traffic is routed to public subnet. All traffic is routed to internet gateway. Now here subnet association. Which subnet I should associate here? Public 1A public. That's it. Similarly, for to NAT gateway. Subnet associations all private. Associated. Okay, na? Online. Okay. So now what we need to do now? Subnets associations are also done. Now, so here I am putting select subnets. For public subnets, enable auto assign public IP. That's fine. Go to subnets and which subnet? Select the public subnet. See auto assign with that. When you're launching the enable by default, enable will come if you enable this. So we'll do it for 1B also. Okay. Fine. What is the next step, Nana, here? So create how many security groups? 6 security groups. Let's go and create. Okay. So 6 security groups. So what is the first security group that we'll create here? Bastion SC, yes or no? We need to create Bastion server security group, right? What's the name of the security groups we'll go for? Bastion SC. And then what's the protocol that we are using here? SSH and anywhere, because anyone should be able to log into the Bastion server, right? Let's go ahead here on the security groups. Create security group. Which one? Bastion SG. Okay. Carefully select this. And what is this here? Which one? SSH. Anywhere I'll select. Do I need to worry about the outbound rules? No. So here we'll add the tag. Tag is what? Name. Which one? Bastion SG. Okay. First security group got created. Next. Next. Yes or no? First we created the Bastion security group. Next we need to create what here? So web ALB. What's that? So this is web tier, right? For web tier we have web ALB. For app tier we have app ALB. External. This is internal. This is external. So I call this as web ALB. So I'm going with the web ALB SG. And inbound rules should be HTTP. Yes or no? It's a load balancer. It should go to either HTTP or HTTPS. And anyone can access my application. That's why anywhere. So let's go and create. What's the name? Okay. I'm just going this. Here, which one I go for? HTTP. Anywhere. And then another one is HTTP. Yes. Anywhere. And name. Create. Okay. Carefully do this. Okay. Next, what we need to create? WebSG or not? This is for our web servers or not? So this for web servers, the traffic should come from where? For these web servers, that come from where? Load balancer. So for load balancer, what is that we have created? Web ALB. So for WebSG, the inbound rules HTTP, HTTPS from where? From web ALB. You got the point? 7:30. Okay. So let's go and create a WebSG, this one. So here, which one? HTTP, custom, and which one I need to select here? Web ALB. So the request need to come from only from Web ALB. Akhilesh, the request here, the request directly should not go to our application web servers. So the request will come from to the load balancer. Load balancer has the security group, right? From that security group only request need to come to our web servers. Okay, so I'll add HTTP. Yes, also. And which one here? Web ALB. Name. What's the next step? App ALB or not? App ALB should get receive the traffic from web SG. Web SG, right? Good. Like this. Which one? HTTP or not? So HTTP, HTTPS. Which one I need to select here? Web SG. Web SG. Carefully, you need to say other if you have mislead it, so your application will not work. This is called architecting. Next, we need to create what? App SG. App SG should receive the traffic from app ALB. So here our application is working on which port number? 3200. So you should not give HTTP. So we need to give custom TCP. Okay. 30. security, AppSG, AppSG, okay, add rule. Here, what is the protocol, Nana, here? 3200. Why 3200? Because our Node.js application is working on 3200. Here should be app ALB. Correct? Here is from app ALB. And then also, we need to work inside the application server, right? Can you tell me our application server, how do I connect? It is in the private subnet, right? How do I connect? Protocol is SSH, but how do I connect? I have my internet from outside. From outside, how do I connect? Can I connect to the private subnet? No. How do I connect? Through Bastion, jump server or not? So for that, so I'll connect to the jump server. From jump server, I'll connect to the application server. So for that reason here, I need to add which protocol here? SSH from where? Bastion. Bastion or jump server. Got the concept? After AppSG, next we need to create what? Database SG. Okay, database SG. Okay, next. Okay, for database SG, the traffic should come from where? App SG, from App SG. So, and also you need to get it from what? Bastion, because we need to set up our database, right? So here, what I need to do is through Bastion server, I'll connect to the application server. From application server, I'll connect to the database server. For that reason, I need to enable here Bastion also. So I'll allow AppSG MySQL. Here, MySQL here custom. Which one here? Which one? AppSG. And also here also MySQL from where? Bastion. Yeah. Okay. Is it clear, guys? Is it clear? So here you can use the inheritance like this in the security groups, or else simply you can put the entire CIDR. If you put the entire CIDR like this, that is not the real time, because it will not be much secure, because you need to secure your entire subnets with these security groups in this inheritance form. So if you put the CIDR also, you can put the CIDR. Whichever is there, any infrastructure, any resources inside this VPC, everyone can access that. It's not good. So it is always best to go with the security groups. Okay. So if you allow me 10 minutes, I'll break my fast and come online. So please give me few minutes, please. Okay. I'll be back. Okay. So meanwhile, okay, fine. I'll keep this and then you concentrate that. Okay. Thank you for waiting. So where were we? So we completed creating the security groups. Hmm? Is it clear till here, everyone? Online? Offline? Clear? So what we do? Now let's go and launch our Bastion host because we have our VPC readily available, right? Harish is saying here in diagram available zone A is down. What about RDS primary instance? How do the request will send RDS to when you completed Harish? Did you completed AWS? RDS is completely managed by AWS, right? So is there any chance that 1A availability will goes down? So if you are worried about if 1A availability will go down in RDS, so which one you need to enable? Multi-AZ. Which one you need to enable? If you enable multi-AZ, automatically failover will happen. You need to bring up that concepts here, Harish. You should not forget those. Okay. So let's go and launch our EC2 instance, Bastion host. Let's go and launch the Bastion. Launch instance. I call it as first jump server, Bastion. You can call it as Bastion also. Jump server also. So you can go with our Red Hat. Anything is fine. Amazon Linux too. Anything is fine. We just need to have a login to that. That's it. So T2 Micro. Which one we want you to select here? 530 or 730? Okay. So here, which one? Entire project. So here, which one I need to select here? Public subnet 1A. So enable it. Secret group. Which secret group I need to select here out of this? Bastion. It's fine. So let's go ahead and launch instance. Okay. So we have launched the EC2 instance. Public subnet Bastion is done. Next, what we need to create? We need to create a IAM roles. Why we need to create IAM roles here in this concept is, so for CICD, we need to create IAM roles. Which one for CICD? Here I told you 3 services. What are those 3 services? Code pipeline. First was what? Code pipeline. Inside the code pipeline, we have what? Code build and code deploy. So code pipeline need to have permissions for multiple services. Code build also need to have multiple services, right? For that, we will go and launch the EC2, create a roles. So here, for our EC2 instance, in coming application tier, we'll launch application servers, web servers, right? For that, what we need to have? CloudWatch log access, cloud agent server policy. Remember for our cloud agent, right? Amazon this deploy. So we'll create a role like this. What's the trusted entity here? EC2. Let's create a role. Let's go to IAM and create a role. Skip it. No, if required, so no, sir, I'll create only one role and give admin permissions. No problem. As I'm just showing as a real time, for that reason, I'm creating multiple roles and give properly. So go here, create role. So what's the trusted entity here? EC2. Next. Okay. So what are this here? CloudWatch logs. Select this carefully. And then CloudWatch agent. And then for code deploy. Okay. That's it. And let's go and next EC2 role and then create role. Role created. Okay. So we need to create one role for code build. And a code build is for build purpose. What purpose? Build purpose. Code deploy is for deployment purpose. So to integrate these two, what we use? We use code pipeline. That's the reason. So for code build, trusted entity is what? Code build. And then we'll go and set up for artifacts, S3 full access, and code build admin access will give, and SSM read only for parameter store. Remember, for secrets, we'll create it, right? For to read the secrets, our application servers need to go and connect to the parameter store. So we'll go and use these things here. Okay. So create role. Which one here? Code build. Next. So what are the things that we need here? S3 full. Next. Code build admin access. For parameter store, we need SSM and CloudWatch full access. Next. And what is the name I'm giving? Code build role. Create role. Nice. And then for code deploy also we'll create. What is the trusted entity here? Code deploy. Let's create a role. Code deploy. Next. So code deploy role is there already. Automatically selected. Click on next. And we'll give the additional policies also for that. Code deploy role. So search for code deploy role. Inside this, let's go and add a policies. What kind of policy here we need? CloudWatch agent and servers and permissions. Good. Role concept is done. Next, what we do? We'll create a RDS. Okay. So while creating the RDS, remember in three-tier project in AWS we did no. So there first we created a subnet group. If you remember, I could have told you that to complete the three-tier project again and come, but that's fine. So remember, first we need to create a subnet group. So let's go to RDS. Now they have changed RDS to Aurora and RDS. AWS Aurora. So if you create a database here, so if you come down, it will ask for the subnet group. So we have a default VPC, right? So let's say here, somewhere we need to select VPC, right? This we'll select what here? Three-tier project, right? Here, do we have any subnet group? We don't create a new subnet group, right? So for that reason, what we need to do? We need to create a subnet group first. Do you see? Subnet group. It's already created before. So let me delete it and create subnet group. What's the name of the group? Tier subnet group. So why don't you put 3-tier? Because it's not taking the number first. That's why I removed 3. Which VPC? 3-tier project. Which availability zone? I go with 1A, 1B. Subnets. Which is the subnets I need to select here? Database law. Private subnet. Which one? DB 1A and then DB 1B. Guys, selecting the subnets is also very important role here. Otherwise, connections will not happen. Subnet done now. Now let's go and create our RDS DB instance. Okay. You're experts on that. Tell me. Create database. Which one? Standard. Which one will go for? MySQL. Okay. Here we go for free tier. Oh, they have changed this. Huh? When we were using this, it was not there, right? So DB identifier name. I'm just giving dev DB instance. Okay. Admin password root 1 2 3 4 5 6. No. Yeah. నీకు పంపించాలి ఐర్లాండ్కి ఒకసారి. Okay. So here don't care. So which VPC here? 3-tier VPC. Which subnet? 3-tier subnet. Publicly accessible, yes or no? Publicly accessible, yes or no? Answer is no, because we are doing the real-time project. So let's do no. So, and then which security group here? Database security group. Which available is on? 1. No need of enhanced monitoring. Let's not put any sample DB. And I'll not enable the backups because it'll take a lot of time. It'll take a lot of time. So let's not enable. But in real time, you enable the backups or not? Yes, you enable the backups. I said public access no. Security group is this. DB sample DB no. No backups. Because what? It will create fastly. Okay. Create database. Okay. Database is done. So now, once the database, then you will get the endpoint. You will get the, you have the username and you have the password. Now what we need to do? We have the Bastion server readily available. We'll log into that Bastion. And then what we install? MySQL client will install. We'll connect to the RDS. And then we'll create our own databases, own username, and it'll put some data inside it. You understand what I'm doing? Online, you understood, Nana? So I'll connect to the Bastion through Putty or Mobile Xterm. We'll go with the Mobile Xterm. And then we'll set up database and tables. So make sure. Remember RDS projects. Correct. EC2 instance. Take the public IP. Okay. EC2 hyphen user. Which PEM file was that? 530. Okay, we are able to connect. That's fine. So sudo hyphen yes, and then if you want hostname ctl set hyphen hostname. Which one is that? Bastion. Sudo hyphen I. So where I'm now here, Bastion. From here, what we need to do now? We need to connect to. First of all, we need to install what? MySQL. So first you need to be in your home directory. Let's go to your home directory. Okay. And then yum install what? MySQL client. So sudo is not required, but yeah. Yum install MySQL hyphen y. And from here, what we need to do? We need to connect to our RDS database. And then what we do? Once you connect, remember in WordPress, we did the same thing and we created database tables and all, right? So here for our Node.js application, we need to run few commands, and that commands are here in the backend. db.sql is there, right? So I wrote it here. Open in the backend db file. So db file, open that. Okay, so we need to run all these things one by one. Let's go and run it. Okay. Meanwhile, first what we do, we go and connect it first. Okay, installation is done. How do we connect? Do you remember? MySQL -h host. So we need to put the host name. Our host name is ready, not ready. So endpoint is ready. So let it create it. So meanwhile, what we do? So MySQL -h, put the endpoint. -u admin -p password. What is the password? Root 1 2 3 4 5 6. And then go to the project folder. In the backend, what we have? Open db file and run the database commands. Here and inside this we have the backend. Inside the backend we have the db. Right? Open this and then we'll run the commands. So do you see? First we'll create a. Instead of that, I'll better to open it in Notepad. So where is open with? So what we do? First we'll create a database and then we create a user and then we'll give the permissions to the user. Okay, good. It's available. So what we take? We'll take the endpoint and this is the endpoint. Okay now. So let's take this and then connect it. Yes, it is. What's the password? Root 1 2 3 4 5 6. So we have connected to the MySQL and start run the commands as one by one. Do you worry about this? Because your developers have given all these things to run. So just go ahead and then, but it's clearly understand it's creating a database called React Node app, and it is creating a user called app user with some password there. Right? Learn it something. And then I'm giving the full permissions there. Okay. Flush permissions. And then it is creating a table. But before that, we need to use the database and then create a table here. And then create one more table. By the way, this application is related to books and authors. What is that? Books and authors. And do you see this here? I am putting a sample values inside the table. Insert query is there, no? Right? I am putting some values inside it. Hey, Rajesh, we are doing the projects, right? You're asking how to connect the database through GUI. We didn't connect it through GUI in RDS. You have used PG admin. The SQL DBware is there. SQL workbench is there. So 6 records and this is also sample data I'm inserting in manually. Okay, so you no need to do this. So if you want to select the data is there or not, data is there. Okay, so data got added. Yes, data got added. Nice. So the backend setup, database setup is done. So next, what we need to set up? Next is application tar. So if you take it here, so here the RDS database is done, right? I've launched the Bastion server. I connected to the Bastion server. From Bastion server, I connected to the database and I created a database and I have inserted some values inside it. So my backend is ready. If required, can you create your own read replica if required? Yeah. Nana, clear online, please? Okay. So now, as we set up this DB server, next we need to go with what? AppTire. Which one here? AppTire. So for that, I will not be launching the EC2 instance and then setting up Node.js application manually. This time what I'm doing is, I am creating a auto scaling group with the launch template. In the launch template, we have user data or not? I'll put all this bloody Node.js installation in that user data. And then I'll create a launch template. After launch template, we'll create an auto scaling group. An auto scaling group will launch EC2 instance with the launch template. Whenever the EC2 instance got up, automatically our Node.js application will be there inside it. You got the point? Okay, Hajwanda. So for that, what we do here, first we will create a launch template for application tier, and then we'll create a empty target group, and we create a which load balancer? Internal load balancer, and we'll create a auto scan. Should we do it now? So let's create a launch template. What is the name of the launch template? Application tier launch template. Let's go here, click on launch templates. So somewhere old launch templates are here. Okay, let's go and create a launch template. What's the name of the launch template? Application tier launch template. You want guidance not required. AMI. Which AMI you're choosing here? Amazon Linux 2023. Which one? Amazon Linux 2023. So browse more AMIs. Which one you're going? Amazon 2023. Okay, next, slowly. So instance type, we don't put it here. Should we put it? Yeah, that's fine. Okay, instance type, we can put it here. T2 micro. Keeper. Okay. Subnets, we don't include it here because while creating auto scaling group, it will ask the subnets there, no? So if you select only one subnet here, it will all the EC2 instance will launch only one that subnet. If you go to auto scaling group, 1A, 1B will select. So here, security groups. Tell me which security groups I need to select for this application tier. App, app SG, app AL Bina, app SG. This is not load balancer, no? App SG. Okay. So, and then subnets don't include. Very important. We need to assign the role or not. So we need to attach the role here. So 3-tier EC2 role. Okay. And then what we need to do? User data. So in app tier user data, so we just need to copy paste it. In the project, we have in the backend. Where did I put that? Okay. Do you see app tier user data? So open that. Do not worry about this. If you are really interested, you can go one by one and then read it here. So it contains all the Node.js shit over there. So, and it contain, I'm sending the logs also. I'm installing CloudWatch agent and the agent also sending all the logs. And then whatever is required for Node.js, installing Node.js, it's starting everything it contains. Okay. So let's go and create launch template. Okay. Nice. After launch template, what do we create? After that, what we create on here? Create a target group. You know very well how to create a target group. Go to target group, click on create target group, instances. So target group name, clearly I call it as app tier TG. So here our application running on which port number? 3200. So protocol is HTTP. Here you need to put what? 3200. VPC is 3-tier and slash health, I think. Yeah, slash health. So your application is what? Slash health. And click on here. Next. Do you want to select any EC2 instance here? Don't. Empty target group, right? So just select and then create target group. So next, what we need to create? Load balancer. Internal or external? Internal load balancer. So I'm calling it as AppTar internal load balancer. Internet facing internal. So here 3 tar and then 1A, 1B. Here which security groups I need to select here? App ALB. Very good. Okay. To AppTar. This one. That's it. So what we did here? So internal. Did we select the subnets? Okay. So we just select it, but we need to select the subnets here. It selected some default one. Is it good? No. Which one I need to put it here? Tell me which one? Private app. Is that private app 1A? Here private app 1B. Very good, guys. App SG is fine. So this is fine. It's fine. And then go ahead and then create load balance. Okay. Super. Next, what we need to do? Create a auto scaling group. We are not deploying it. So user data is had, so it will do everything the work here. So let's go and create a auto scaling group. Okay. Create auto scaling group. So name I'm putting it as application tar SG. What is the launch template here? Okay. And then click on next VPC. Select this. Subnets. Which one? Which subnets I need to select here? App 1A. Fantastic answer. App private subnet. App 1A. Private subnet app. Where? App 1B. Click on next. Attach to the existing load balancer. Which target group? Okay. Zonal shift not required. Turn on. Okay. And click on next. Desired capacity. How many you want? Let's go with 2. Enough, no? So minimum 1, maximum I'll go with. Let's go 4. How many EC2 instances we launch now? How many EC2 instances we launch? 2. Next, scaling policies. We go with the target trailing. We go with the CPU utilization 50% is fine. So I'll go with the no policy. If you want monitoring, you can enable the monitoring. Click on next, next, and then next, and then create auto scaling. So what it will create now? AppTar. It will create the complete AppTar or not? It will create the complete AppTar. Online, is this clear now till here, please? AppTar setup is done. So next, now we need to set up which tar? Presentation tar or web tar. Same concept. We need to create a launch template, empty target group, but this time external application load balancer, auto scaling group. But here, one thing carefully you need to do is while creating a launch template, you need to, we have internal load balancer created, right? We have internal load balancer created. So that load balancer, we need to put it here inside the, yes, because here we are setting up the presentation tier now. So where it should send the traffic for this load balancer. So we need to give this load balancer information our in user data or not. So that is the thing that we do it here. But meanwhile, I call it as here web tar. So let's go and create web tar. Tell me fatafat, launch templates, create launch template. This. And then let's go with Amazon Linux. Browse more. Okay, first one. Okay. Instance type is T2 micro. Come on, dude. Be faster. 5:30 p.m. batch. Do you want to include subnets here? Subnets? No. So security group. Which security group here? Hmm? What are we creating here? So here should be web SC. So here web SC. So make sure that we need to have our role attached. Otherwise, you have a lot of problem. Remember, because systems manager will not work. So 3-tier role. And then what we need to put? User data. So in user data, carefully. So we have WebTar user data. Inside the website user data, do you see this load balancer URL here? So we need to replace with our load balancer or not? So let's grab that load balancer. So we'll take the DNS name. Okay. And then carefully put it over here. Okay. Na? And what is the project? What is the project name I'm giving here? project.riazawstrainer.com. If you want nice URL. So save this. And then what do we need to do? Copy this and put it over here. And then create. So what we did now? So user data. What next? Create a empty target group and external load balancer. Let's go and create a target group now. Create target group. What's the name of the target group? WebTire teaching. Okay. And then port number is 80 and VPC 3-tier. And here it should be what? Health. So make sure that no spelling mistakes and all. Okay. Here is next. So here, do you want animations here? Don't select animations. Just go and create a target group. And then we need to create what? Load balancer. And this time, what type of load balancer is this? Internet facing. So I'm just giving vector external load balancer. And then VPC is this 1A, 1B. Which one you need to select here now? Very good. Which one? Public, because this is external load balancer, right? So we need to select here public subnet 1, public subnet B, 1B. And then security group. Web ALV. And here it is WebTar. So 80. And let's go ahead and then create a load balance. And then what we do? Create a auto scaling group. So create auto scaling group. What's the name of the auto scaling group? WebTire auto scaling group. And which one we'll select? WebTire auto scaling group. Click on next. So carefully select the VPC and which subnets? Which one here? Hmm? Tell me this diagram and tell me. Hmm. Which one? Huh? Publica. Okay. So here we need to select what? Private web 1A and private web. Where is it? 1B. Correct, no? Hmm. So next, attach existing. Which one here? Web tire, load balancer. Next, here I'll go with how many? 2, and here 4. Minimum I'll put only 1. Target tracking policy. It is what? 50% is fine. And then all these are all fine. Enable the monitoring. Click on next. Click on next. Next, and then create auto scaling. So what are the things that we have set up till now? Hmm. Hmm. This part is done. This part is done. This is done. This part is done. This part is done. This part is also done. Scale auto scaling is also done. Scaler is also done. Now what we need to do? So here we have one thing I have put it here. Now let's see our load balancer. We have our EC2 instances. So we have our EC2 instance running. Okay. And then we have our load balancers also. Both are active. So guys, if I go with my external load balancer, if I copy this, what should I get? What do you get if I hit it? Nginx. Ooh. Our project here. So it went inside it. So that meaning whatever the architecture that we have done is perfectly correct. So now we have hit our external load balancer. Now obviously it went and hit which one? Nginx. That's why we are getting the Nginx. So if the Nginx is working, that means obviously the architecture is correct or not. So that is one hint that you should be able to see the Nginx page. So now, so go to the CloudWatch, and in the logs, you should be able to see all the logs, but we need to create one small log group called node app logs agent. This is for what purpose? For logs purpose, because our Node.js application is there. No, application will generate the logs. If just in case if it's not working or not connecting, we can check the logs here. So should we go and create a log group here? Where should we go and create a log group? Go to CloudWatch. Remember, we already all this, huh? CloudWatch logs. No need, Harish. You can create if required. Do we need one more Bastion server here? Bastion, log groups. So log groups got created here. So let's go and create a log group name. Yeah, it's fine. Create a log group. All the logs will be created there. So next what we need to do is we need to set up the parameters in SSM, because we have our application need to get connected to the database in the backend, right? So how do we pass the entire information using the SSM? So we need to go to SSM, and then because in our application is going and fetching the data from SSM. Application will go and fetch the data from SSM, where it has all your database password, database username, port number, user, everything is there. So in the code, in the backend, we have something called build spec. Say that. So in the code, let's go to which one here? Backend. In the backend, we have what here? Build spec, this file. So in this build spec, so this build specs contain how to build the project. This will be given by the developer only. So inside that, do you see this here? They are using the parameter store. They are using the parameter store, and all these we need to put the information in our parameter store or not. So for that reason, let's go to parameter store. So we need to go to which one? Systems manager. Say that. Go to systems manager. So in systems manager, we have something called, do you see on the left side, parameter store? Go to the parameter store and then create parameter. So what are the parameters that you need to create here? See here. We need to create how many parameters here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. How many parameters? 5. So let's go and create 5 parameters here. Let's go. What's the parameter name? Host name. Host name. Tire is standard. Type is string. Data type text. Value is. So what is our host name? Our RDS endpoint. So we need to get the RDS endpoint here, right? Copy this. Is this same or different? Okay, value is this. And then create. Exactly, Anup. Correct. What's the next parameter? PB name. So let's create a copy paste. Standard string text. What is the value? React. This is a database name or not? Okay. Next create parameter. What is the next one? Password. So why you are giving this path? Because in your why we need to add so many parameters? Guys, your application need to see. Application has connection string, no, generally. Remember in WordPress, we did a WordPress project, right? In WordPress, we have that wp-config.config file. Inside that, we have given host name, username, password details, everything. All this database name, host name, username, password, you are giving this entire information in the application. Secure, not secure. You are giving directly in application. Not secure, right? So I'm not giving in my application. Where are we giving now? Parameter stores. In parameter stores, I've been giving all my secret information, and application need to go and fetch that information. So how it is fetching? So which is fetching with these names. So I'm creating those parameters here. Understood? Dinesh. Okay. Next to port number also. What's the port number here? And what's the last parameter? User. What's the user we have created? Huh? You don't remember? App user in the database. Guys, you understood why did I create parameters? In build spec.yaml file, they are calling from where? Parameter store. So what is the value it is asking for? DB password. It will go to our parameter store that I have created. What is the DB password is there? If I go inside it, so I have given the value, but can I able to see the value? So do you see this value here? So I'm calling everything from here. Good. Now, what is the next thing? We create a S3 private bucket. So let's go and create a private bucket. Do you see how many services I'm integrating? This is the project, correct? Guys, I'll not be giving Chumma projects, huh? You know, heavy projects only. Okay, let's go and create a private bucket. Okay. Is this clear till here? How to set up your entire infrastructure, guys? Do you see this? Online, is this clear till here, everyone? So, what we have done is till now, we have set up the skeleton. Did we deploy any application here? Did we deploy any application? In the user data, I just installed Node.js and I didn't deploy any application. For application, we need to have code, no? How do I put that entire code in my user data? User data will help us to set up the Node.js, whatever is required, the software it has installed. But did we deploy the application here? No. How do we deploy the application? Manually or automatica? Automatic. Who will deploy now? Previously you said Jenkins. Now we should say code pipeline. In code pipeline is a pipeline, but inside that, which service will deploy? Code deploy. And which service will build the project? Code build. And where do I put the code? Where do I keep my code? Where do I keep my code? Huh? No, I'm just. His pet is a. But so it was just pressing my stomach. GitHub, re. Where do you store your code? అక్కడ స్పూన్ ఎందుకు ఓకే ఇదేంద్ర పైన పడిపోతాడు ఓకే I scared my offline people by removing my belt here. Okay, fine. Okay, now. So where do I store my code? In the GitHub. So in the GitHub, I have the code readily available. So let me go to GitHub and show the code. In GitHub. Go to repositories. Do you understand why did I merge these two batches now? You understand now? Because we need to spend a lot of time to project. If I separate you project for 5:30, I need to, it's not yet completed. So you 72 people need to be waiting till 8 o'clock. So that's the reason why I combine, so that we can enjoy in good time. Okay, so here there is something called AWS. Do you see this? AWS CICD React Node MySQL app online. So go ahead and then work it. So here what we have done, front end code, back end code. So front end code I'll be deploying where? Web tier. Back end code where I'm deploying? Application. How do I deploy? Through code pipeline. So how does it work now? So see, this is the CICD pipeline flow. You see this? This is the CICD pipeline flow. See Nana here. Listen carefully. See here. What we have the entire code in GitHub. That is called our source stage. In code pipeline, we have 3 stages. Nana. Where? How many stages? Say that with me. How many stages are there? 3 stages. Number 1 is source stage. Source stage is connected to GitHub. And we have what stage? Build stage. In build stage, which service will get? Code build. Next stage is deploy stage. Which service we have? Code build. So this build spec.yaml file, app spec.yaml file will be provided by your developers, right? So and then we need to go to code build and we need to create a project here, and we need to go and deploy and create a project here. So and then once you're done, it will deploy onto the EC2 instance. So what are the things we need to set it up here? First, we need to set up code builder. Next, we need to set up code deploy. Next, we need to set up code pipeline. Got it? So first what we need to do, first what we need to do, code build. What we need to do? Online, what we need to now? Code build. So do you see this here? Navigate to code build, and what we need to do? We need to create a project. So how do we go to the code build? And how many pipelines I need to create for this? 2 pipelines. One is for front end, another one is for back end. 2 pipelines we need to create. Now you might have understand this. If I go on top, see, configuring code build for app tier, configuring code deploy for app tier, configuring code pipeline for app tier. Similarly, configuring code build for web tier, configuring code deploy for web tier, configuring code pipeline for web tier. So how many pipelines we need to create? 2 pipelines. Okay now? So first what we need to create? Let's go and code build. So let's go with the backend first. Which one? So let's go in the code build. Code build. You see here? Build and test your code. Code build. And do you see? This is the source. Remember, we have GitHub, no? In AWS, we have code commit. What we have? But the code commit for new accounts for you, it's deprecated. So they have removed, unfortunately, because everyone are using GitHub. No one is coming to code commit. For that reason, they have deprecated this. Code artifacts for storing all our artifacts. Code build, code deploy, code pipeline. Okay, na? But we are not using code commit. We are using GitHub. We are not using code artifact. We are using S3. So code build we are using, code deploy we are using, code pipeline we are using. So out of this, which one we need to create first? Code build. In code build, what we need to create? A project. Build a project. Here we have create project. What's the project name? I call it as backend build. Which one? So inside this, default project is fine. Listen carefully. Here we have this code build, that meaning it needs to get the code from where? GitHub. So this code build needs to integrate it with the GitHub or not? So here what I need to select? What is your primary here? GitHub. But it can go with, see, code commit also, Bitbucket also, GitLab also, GitHub, wherever you want. So, but here we have GitHub. So, guys, for me, I have already, your account is successfully connected using this GitHub. But what you need to do is, I wrote this clearly. You need to create a new GitHub connection. Nothing, Nana. You just select here. Any other account is there because I have already configured this. That's fine. That's fine. So what you need to do? You need to do the connection. You will get to know automatically. What will happen is, it will ask create a new GitHub connection and give the connection name as GitHub connection. Connect to the GitHub, authorize, and then install new app. Already buttons will be there. Next, 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 next. Click on it, click on it, click on it. And then finally it will ask which repository that you want to select. So you select your repository because you already forked my repository, right? You select that repository and then GitHub connection and save it. Automatically what will happen? Your repository will be displayed here. Otherwise, go with the public repository and put your URL, because anyways your repository is public, right? Put the URL here. How to put the URL? Go here, go this, copy it, and then put it and remove just .git, this one. Otherwise, if you want to do the connection, select that, go with all the options, and you will get to know automatically. So here, which is the, see, I'm giving, I have given all the permissions for my entire thing. So this is the one, right? AWS CICD React Node.js node. Okay. Is it clear? Okay. So webhook meaning here, remember webhook concept, Jenkins to GitHub. So whenever someone push the code in the GitHub, automatically Jenkins build will start or not? So here also, whenever anyone modified that project has been in GitHub, this build will start. So for that, what we need to do is when if they push, rest, keep everything default. That's fine. Keep everything default. Here, what we have created already some roles, right? For code build, we have created a role. So select existing role. What is the role here? 3-tier code build role we have already selected. Okay. Na? Next it is asking for what Nana here? Build spec. So we have already our build spec. We are doing front end or back end? Back end. In back end, in our code, in back end. So I need to show it in our repository, right? Because it is getting from repository. So in the back end, do you see build spec.yaml? So we have already in our GitHub, right? So here we have two options. One option is insert all your commands here, or else use a file. We already have a file, right? What's the file name? Build spec, build spec.yaml. So I have somewhere written all these things. Okay, backend slash build spec, because it is on the directory, right? Backend slash build spec.yaml. Okay. If you want to store your artifacts, where you can store? You already have it S3 if you want. Hmm? So, okay, but I'm not going. How to remove this artifact? It's okay, no problem. Go for it. Anup is asking what permission are you giving in IAM role? In the starting of the project, we have given right all the permissions. Anup, okay, remove artifact. Okay, so fine. So I'm just giving some. So automatically might create a name. That's fine. Logs. So CloudWatch logs I have enabled. That's fine. And create what? Build project. See here. So I have given all these details or not? So okay, group name. For group name. Remember we created this log group. So we give that name so that just in case any errors come, it will go and sit inside that log. So what we have given, so here we have select the repository, select push, and then service role we have selected backend build order. That's fine. And then let's go and create a project. Once you create a project, for sure it will give one error. It's already gave error. So what it says, webhook creation failed. I know this will error come. That's why I clearly wrote it here. Webhook creation failed. For that, what we need to do is, remember Jenkins URL we have given to GitHub. Similarly, our code bit URL need to give to the GitHub. So let's go and do that. So let's go and manually add it. So let's go to our CICD, our repository. Where did it go? Settings, webhooks. Uh, Hey, which one? Acha. Okay. Go to webhooks and then here add webhook. And what is the name that you need to add is this one. So this URL and then go with application JSON and then add webhook. Clear enough? So what we did, we have set up the code build. Next, what we need to set up? Everyone. Aisha is asking, sir, is there class on Saturday? Guys, you guys are tired? Huh? Chitty? That's why I do. Project with me is not normal thing. So I want to give you the best project. So you need to spend time. Okay. No one is there. If you want to even put in. Okay. That pay, this URL is by default. Anup. Huh? Under uses. You can use the same URL. There is a common URL for everyone. Okay. Okay. So now we have done with what, Nana, here? Code deploy. Sorry, what is that? Code build. So many things. I close RDS. I close what IAM will do later. CloudWatch will do. Okay, here. So you just ignore it. So we have the backend build. Excellent. And now what we do? We go into the code deploy. So on the left side, so build is done. And then let's go to code deploy. So go to the code deploy. Go to where first? Applications. Inside that first. Harish, I already said that URL is predefined. Everyone can use it. If you go to internet in Amazon documentation, what is a webhook URL for code build? You will get that URL. So no need to check. So I have already provided that to you. So what is the create application? What is application name? Backend. Previously we did backend build. This one is deploy. So compute platform is which one? EC2. Compute platform is EC2. Create application. So once we create an application, then what we need to do? Create deployment group. So inside this application, go inside it. And here we have what? Create deployment group. Listen carefully. What is the group name? Backend deployment group. And this is code builder, code deployer. So here we already create a role now. So select that role. And then in place is fine. Environment configuration is, we have created our auto scaling group, right? Which auto scaling group I need to select here? Application or web? Yeah. So application, and then we have application there. So deployment settings all at once. If you want one at a time is also fine. Remember in Beanstack we learned about this. All at once. Because it will do, if you have multiple EC2 instances, what it will do? It will go and deploy the application one by one. You have your EC2 instance readily available or now? So this go and do the deployment. How do it do the deployment? Your wish. All at once, if you select, all EC2 instances will be in stop state now. It's up to you. If you want one by one, half at a time, it's up to you. Select it. So that's the deployment settings. All at once I'm going for now. And then we have the load balancer. Which load balancer you have? Application load balancer. Which target group I need to select here? App. Create. Okay, alarms not required. Create deployment group. Deployment group got created. So now what we need to do finally, we need to create a code pipeline. So we created code builder, code deploy, next code pipeline. So this is a final step for our application tire. So let's go next here. What? Code pipeline. Create create pipeline. Okay, now. So here, build a custom pipeline. Click on next. So what is our pipeline name? I call it as what? Backend pipeline. Existing role. Did we created the role? So 3-tier code pipeline role we created. No, right? So let it create its own. I call it as backend pipeline hyphen. Why? So because you can give anything, because automatically it will create its own role. So just in case if we get any errors, let's give additional permissions to them and then do it. Okay. So it is creating its own pipeline, own role. Exactly, Akhilesh. In advanced settings, see, let's see what is happening. So this is artifacts, right? For artifacts, what we can select? Our S3. Okay, S3. So let's go and click on here. Next, what is our source provider here? Exactly. What is our source provider here? GitHub. So let's select our GitHub via GitHub app. So connection, I already created the connection. If you have created before, you will get it like this. And repository name. What is the repository name here? This one. Branch. Which branch? Main branch. And then webhook events. Which one I'm using here? Push branch. Which branch, Amma? Main branch. That's it. That's fine. And click on here. Next. Okay, build. Now we need to build here. So which one we have here for build purpose? Now I'm writing code pipeline. So integrations I'm doing it. GitHub I integrated. Next I need to integrate with beyond. AWS code. Exactly. AWS code. Project we already created. Back and build. So plug and build and one versus single build is fine. And then that is fine. Input fine. Click on next. And then test stage. Are we testing anything here? No, we are not testing it. But if you want to test, if you want, so I'm just skipping the test. And then deployment. What is here? What is the provider for deploy stage? Code deploy. So select our code deploy. And then application we created backend deploy. Deployment group. And then click on next. And then click on what? Create pipeline. So if you click on create pipeline, what will happen? Our bloody backend will go and set up or not automatically? Huh? Let's go and create pipeline. So how do we run our Jenkins pipeline? So similarly, if I click on create pipeline, automatically it will get the code from GitHub. Do you see here? Source. What is doing? It is in progress. After that, what will happen? After that, what will happen? Let's wait. While it is doing, okay. Ooh. So it connected to our GitHub and then got it or not? This is so easy, but this one is only building is only problem. And this take a lot of time, little bit time. So meanwhile, we will go and set up our front end web tier. Meanwhile, build it done, Ray. Deploy will take time because it needs to go and set up on EC2 instance. It go and deploy, right? Without front end, can we access backend? No, right? So what we do? Let's go and set up a front end now. So meanwhile, let's go and let it deploy. Again, what we need to do here again? Again, those 3 steps we need to do. What are those 3 steps? Code build, code deploy. Should we do? Do you tell this time? Good. Expand which one? Code build projects. So this was succeeded now before. So create project. So let's give the nice names like this. So what did I say here? Front end build. Let's go and set a front. Don't. There are so many intelligent, smart people. They'll put this project in YouTube's. If my copyrights, okay. So, but the thing is, if you put this in YouTube, you will get thousands of likes, and because people are dying for this kind of projects. Okay, keep it with you only. Sir, you only unnecessarily gave the idea. We don't have that kind of mindset. Okay, so front end build. Next, here, which one, Anna? GitHub, and here repository or AWS, this repository. In the webhook, what we do? Push. All these things are default fine. So existing role, what build role is there? And here, this front end, right? So front end slash build spec.yaml. If you are interested, you can go and see that build spec.yaml, what it contains. It is easy to understand. Okay. So next is so artifacts. If you want, yes. Okay. If you want artifacts, go with it. Packet name is fine. And logs front end logs. Group name front end. And go and create a build project. Swaroop, it's okay, brother. No problem. Don't take it seriously. My lawyer will come and talk to you, please. Okay? Talk to my lawyer. I'm just kidding, Swaroop. No problem. Yeah, it's okay. I want my students to be shine. That's it. Okay. So what we did, we created a build. So till here, build project we have done. But obviously, what will happen? Webhook will fail. That's fine. But we already created a webhook or not? So here, I already gave that. As it is the same repository, do you need to do it again? Not. Let it be. Next, what we need to do? We need to go and do the code deploy. So code build is here. Next, what do you do? Code. First, what we need to create a application. I know that will take a number of time. So let's go and create an application. So what is the name of, I can say, front end deploy. Here, easy to create application and then create deployment group. What's the name of deployment group? Front end deployment group. I put it. Service role. We already created a. And then here we have auto scaling. Which one? Which one here? Web tab. Load balancer. Which one here? What is deployment group meaning? You are listing a group of EC2 instances where it go and deploy. So that is our, yeah. So click on create deployment group. So next, what we need to create now? We need to create a pipeline. Okay. We need to create a pipeline. So go here, pipeline, create pipeline, build custom pipeline, and then what's the pipeline name? Create code pipeline. I have given some other name, right? Front end, back end. You can give any pipeline is fine. This is front end, right? Previously we created back end. So I call it as here instead of saying, oh, that is role. No, yeah. Front end pipeline. Okay. I call it as -z because it will create multiple roles by itself, right? I have already with the same name. So I'm just putting -yz. You are the first time, you can give direct names, no problem. So in which bucket? Artifacts is fine. And click on next. Source na Git Hub connection, GitHub connection. Branch main webhook push filter type. Which branch is that? Main branch. Click on next. Build stage. Which is a build? Code build. Which one? Front end. Huh? Single build is fine. Is fine. Do we need any tester? And then here, code deploy. Application name. Front end. Deployment. Front end. Okay. Let's go and create pipeline. Okay. You understand? So now it is also getting it. So I told you this will take a lot of time. So if you want to check here what is going wrong, so front end is coming. So do you see? Click on this. You can see code deploy. Just succeeded. Oh, backend is succeeded. Backend is succeeded. So now let's wait for front end. So backend is our build is succeeded. I mean pipeline is completed. So let's wait for front end. And then once we are done with, which one we need to access, sir? Which one we need to access for my application? Front end, what? How do I access my application now? Load balancer. Internal or external? Let's go to external. On top of it, external load balancer. Can you create CloudFront? Can you set up SSL also or not? That you can set it up. So let's wait until this front end. So if you go inside it, you can stop execution, Harish. Do you see? You can stop execution, you can clone it, you can edit, you can release. So build is done here. So do you see this here? This is happening. I want to show you what it is doing. This is repository. So code deploy in progress, view in code deploy. View events. This is a bloody event it is doing. You see? These are the things that it is doing because in build build spec.yaml, app spec.yaml. So these are the things they have written inside it. So now what is doing? It is blocking all the traffic. Now all these things need to be completed. So once all these things are completed, then our application might be deployed. If everything, this project is successfully done, then if you open our load balancer, we should have our application coming up. Let's wait. Do you understand the third part? Part 1, part 2, part 3. How is the project? How is the project online? Jenkins, బాగుందా? Jenkins, you need to learn multiple things, right? But once you habituate with it, it will be super easy. First time it will be like this, but if you start doing it, it will be very easy. Feels like real time. Of course. Hmm? Hmm. But tomorrow is Saturday, no? Saturday morning. Huh? Uh, okay, na 10:30. Huh? 10:30. 10:30. Okay. So tomorrow we'll be doing another project. Uh, that is your Docker ECS project. We'll do. Thank you, Mas Ravanti. On the Kishore, on the console itself, it will give the error here itself if something goes wrong. Sir, when we can expect the last class? Maybe, guys. Uh, see, tomorrow morning we'll take it. My heart is aching, leaving you, sir. Um, Sunday, you'll connect online. Online is fine, no? We'll do one project. What will you do Sunday? Huh? Oh, you want to come offline? Uh-huh. Someone is Swaroop. Thank you, Swaroop. Uh, okay, I'll ask these people can open this. I'll let you know tomorrow. First, let me ask these anyone will come here and then open this. Because Sunday also, if you do one project, it will be good for you, no? Generally, it will be closed, right? I'll check. Moto 3 is a library, Aishmati, in Python to get our AWS functions. Oh, that is succeeded. Let's see. Yeah. Okay, guys, do you see? It went super fast. Now let's see. I haven't got any errors. Did we deploy the application manually? No, we used our code pipeline to deploy. Code deploy to integrate code build and code deploy. We use code pipeline, right? Huh? Uh, lunchbox desko. Chef is outdated. Yeah, Abhishek. Mm. Yes, if you change anything in GitHub, Dinesh, it will take it automatically. You can do that because if I do it again half an hour you need to wait. So it is allowing traffic. I think application has been deployed. So it is just allowing the traffic now. Let's see. Here, if you build fails, any notification will send. While creating it is asked for the notification or not. If you have configured a SNS topic, then you will get to receive a notification. Yes, Dinesh. Guys, why it is taking this much time? Because you have auto scaling in the back end. By auto scaling in the back end, if you have one machine, fatafat it will do. If you have auto scaling, I just use the real time thing here. In real time also we have auto scalings, right? You have application running on auto scalings, right? So that's why it is taking this much time. And we have given the desired capacity as how much? 2, right? Minimum 1. So as no one is using, now my EC2 instance might have fall to 1. Yeah, feedbacks. Guys, everyone done with the feedbacks? Online. There are few people, many people have not done yet. Mm-hmm. Charles, yes, I saw you. Aisha, I saw your feedback also. Oh, do you see she succeeded? Okay. I am more excited than you. Okay, so our pipeline, if you go to our pipelines, so our 2 pipelines are succeeded or not? Oh, let's see. Let's go to our load balancer. Refresh. Which one? External load balancer. Copy this. Let's do. Okay. Uh, there we go. We have our application perfectly deployed. ఒక ఫీల్ వచ్చింది ఏదో రాకెట్ లాంచ్ మూన్ ల్యాండ్ అయింది రైట్ యా సో గైస్ డూ యూ సీ దిస్ books dashboard and do you see all it is showing and do you see authors, do you see books, all the books are here, add book, title, DNA. uh, so first we'll author, we'll write, we'll do the author, huh? First we'll write the author. Who is the author? Add author. Yes. Birthday. Odile. Correct. You want? Sure? Ostara? Next month only. Okay. So author I have added. So let's say for example, we didn't add it. So author. Just select something, blah, blah. Okay. All right. Huh? Yeah. Year. Why I'm not a girl to shy, no? What is there to put? Oh, okay. I'll tell my thing. Okay. It is 1986. Now calculation. Okay. Books. Add book. DNA. When we release this, for example, tomorrow. Description, pages, author, who is author? Add. Guys, if I add it, that meaning what? It is going and connected to the RDS in the database. So my connection is also working or not? Yes. So this is the, don't worry about the application. So worry about the entire process here. Clear? Okay. So this is the super big project, and I have wrote each and everything over here. On top of it, can you set up CloudFront and Route 53? And also you can set up ACM also. You don't have domain, right? Yeah. Okay. Online. Okay, na? Super project, no? Thank you, Moin. How much team member do this project? So it is not one person who will be doing it, but I want you people to be experts in all multiple areas. So just in case if you get a chance, you can excel there in that area. Okay. So we'll able to do this, Anna. So I'll be uploading this one project in the Google Classroom now right away. So if you are very interested, go home right away and then do it. Otherwise, tomorrow morning you do it. But 10:30, I'll be taking another project. So tomorrow it will be a very easy project. So as it is Saturday only, so if required, we'll go with the two projects or one, depend upon your exhaustment, right? So tomorrow is very simple, where we go with the ECS. It's completely serverless, completely serverless. We'll go and deploy the application on ECS. We have deployed so many applications on Docker containers, right? So instead of having Docker containers, Docker engine on EC2, we'll go with the ECS. Okay, now? Any questions online? So once you are done with this, please go ahead and then delete, clean up everything one by one. Okay. Sir, in real life, we alone won't do this much. No, sir. One module will be taken by one person like that only, you know. Yeah, Kishore, but it's depend. If your Pusuk manager or team lead came and say that please execute this project, what will you do? Give me team, you will say as a junior. No. So you should be in the position, but in actually in real time, so you will not be doing the only one person the entire project. So we will create. Remember, I told you, we'll in the Jira, we'll create a task. We'll create a task. So let's say in this entire thing, I'll create a task to set up a RDS, one person. I'll create a task, those who are little bit indigent to work on the security groups. I'll create a task another to create a VPC. So they will be good in their own task. Now, on top of that, team lead will come and integrate everything or not. So like this, this is a big project. So where the multiple people will be doing different tasks. Please show delete one by one. Asha. Okay. So it is very valid that do not terminate the EC2 instances from here. If you terminate it, what will happen? Guys, I told you, no, all are gone. I have only one web front end, one back end, because I don't have a traffic here. That's why it has reduced to one. So lively, you are also seeing the auto scaling here, right? So first you need to delete what? Auto scaling group. First terminate the auto scaling group. Delete to, and then delete our load balancer. Next, target groups. So it is taking time, no problem. Let's do one more time. Okay. So EC2 instances are done. And then what we do? We'll delete the pipelines. Code pipelines. Select this, delete pipeline. And then delete pipeline. Guys, I'm telling you, please be careful to delete all these things, huh? Applications. Application. Otherwise, you might get bills, huh? Delete the deployments also gone. Next, go to okay. So we are good with the code pipeline. Pipelines are deleted now. Target groups, all are all deleted. So remove our S3 bucket. In S3 also artifacts got saved or not? Do you see? Front and back end artifacts are also there. Empty it. Okay. S3 is done. Load balance is done. Oh, RDS is there, no? And then parameter stores also there, no? So parameters, select all those and then delete parameters. And then we go to RDS. Databases, select this and then delete it. Don't create and then delete me. And then VPC, no? In VPC, first you need to delete what? NAT gateway. So first keep deleting the NAT gateway. And then delete the VPC. Okay. Those who ask me how to delete it. Okay. So thank you for spending a lot of time with me. And then tomorrow morning, we'll go with few projects, not few, one or two projects, depend upon the time. And then please expect Sunday also, but not this much time, one or 1.5 hour. So we'll go with Jenkins stuff related thing, right? EKS and all, the Netflix projects and all. And then we'll go with Monday. And let's see on Sunday, based on how many projects we have covered, then we'll decide when is the last class. We need to finish the project first. Okay. Super, Nana. I will be giving you this in the Google Classroom. Please take it and then put it there. And tomorrow class will be at 10:30 a.m. Same link. Okay. Please join. Okay, Nana. So can you give the final CC for today, please? When is the next batch coming for AWS? It's already started, evening 4 p.m. Ravi. So it is deleted. Go to the VPC, select this carefully, and then delete it. There is one thing it's not deleted. We have Bastion server, right? So Bastion server need to be terminated.